Hello again. My name is Steve Allen Taylor, the owner of SAT Business Consulting. Thank you for joining me to view another one of my introductory videos regarding the Thinking into Results program, or TIR. You know, for over 35 years, I've been applying my engineering, management, business experience, and education to helping businesses become more competitive, productive, profitable, what have you. I've combined this experience with the life-altering concepts of thinking into results. Before I begin the core of my presentation, please know that I'm not going to try to pressure you into buying the program. Now, you're welcome to buy it, of course, but only if you feel that you can make an informed decision. So, as in all my videos, my intent is just to inform you about this really amazing program. So please just sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Thinking into Results program was developed by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. Together they formed the Proctor Gallagher Institute. You may have seen Bob in the renowned movie The Secret. Even Oprah Winfrey endorsed the book that the movie was based on. For over 50 years, Bob has been studying and teaching the concepts that form the backbone of this program. Now, Sandy was a successful corporate lawyer handling multi-million-dollar contracts. She actually gave up her law practice in order to work with Bob in building the program. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss a concept that you've likely never heard about. It's called a terror barrier. And once you understand this concept, you'll understand why perhaps you, or people that you know for sure, consistently fail to achieve your or their goals and dreams. However, before I discuss the terror barrier, I want to go over a few concepts that are taught in other lessons of the program. I'm doing this because once you hear these basic concepts, you'll better understand the terror barrier. The first concept is called the stick person. In 1934, a doctor named Dr. Thurman Fleet, a chiropractor in San Antonio, Texas, realized that without a picture of how our mind works, practitioners from all fields were really only treating the symptoms but not the causes. So he created this simple diagram to help visualize how our mind works, and hopefully you can see this well. So let me quickly explain. The large circle represents the mind, and this is split into two halves, the top half being the conscious mind, or the thinking part of the mind. And the bottom half represents the subconscious mind, which is the emotional or feeling part of the mind. Now this small circle here is our body. And in my case, it's not as small as it used to be. So the conscious mind, being the thinking mind, is where our free will, awareness, and ideas originate. Now we can choose which ideas to focus on because our conscious mind can accept or reject ideas. In other words, it thinks. Now the subconscious mind, or the emotional mind, is where we store our memories, our habits, conditioned beliefs, and our self-image. It cannot accept or reject ideas like the conscious mind can. It just acts on what is impressed upon it. And the body is the instrument of the mind. It merely carries out actions. So the mind expresses itself to and through the body. Finally, these little squiggly lines up here represent our five senses of hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touch. They are hardwired like little antennas into our conscious mind. We have been taught since childhood to gather the majority of our information from our environment through our senses. Now, another important concept taught in the program is referred to as paradigms, and this is very important. Paradigms are defined as a multitude of habits, and a habit is defined as an idea that is fixed in our subconscious mind. These habits cause us to act without any conscious thought. Furthermore, paradigms can be likened to a thermostat in our homes, but rather than controlling the temperature in a room, they control the habits of our lives. If we want to change our results, we need to change the settings of our thermostat, or i.e., I should say, our paradigms. And finally, a third concept taught in the program relates to goal setting. There are three main types of personal or business goals, types A, B, and C. Type A goals focus on doing something that you already know how to do because you've done them before. Type B goals focus on activities that you think you can do because you've had similar experiences. But both of these types of goals are not good for achieving personal growth. Now, C-type goals focus on your wants, your dreams, your fantasies. These are what this presentation is about. They are the good guys because they provide for personal growth. In other words, you'll learn things about yourself and your abilities that you've never experienced before. While C-type goals provide for this personal growth, they also create fear in most people. This is when people hit the terror barrier and they bounce right back into their comfort zone wherein they'll never achieve the goals or dreams. You see, anytime you set a major goal or make a dramatic change of any kind, you will run up against the terror barrier, which is nothing more than a psychological barrier, but it's based on your fears. And when this happens, you have a choice. You can retreat back into your comfort zone, wherein you'll experience the same results that you've likely have experienced for years, or you can break through the barrier and experience new and positive growth. Now, the reason most people don't break through the terror barrier is because of their unwillingness to take major risks. They fear loss, humiliation, or failure. And I mean failure with a capital F, and I know this personally. I've been guilty of it myself. The fear of failure is rooted in our early childhood. We are conditioned to avoid many activities because our parents or teachers or siblings, etc., would say, "Don't do that. You can't do that. Be careful. You can't do that. You can't. You can't." You can fill in the blank. You've heard this before. The word can't is bad indeed. It sets up a negative vibration in our conscious minds, and it leads us into creating a never-ending flow of reasons why we shouldn't try something new. And so we don't. So what exactly is the terror barrier that I keep referring to? First, let me say that it's all related to the psychological process of experiencing personal growth. Now, this process includes the following 4 steps: bondage, reason, conflict, and freedom. So let me show you another diagram. This is a diagram of bondage. It refers to our conditioning, our paradigm, and this resides in our subconscious mind. As I mentioned earlier, our paradigm, your paradigm, controls your behavior like a thermostat controls the temperature in a room. If your behavior changes just a little, your paradigm brings you right back in line. Let's refer to your paradigm as X, vibrations. So with X-type vibrations, you have X-type thoughts, and then you have X-type behaviors, which results in X-type results. That's just who you are. That's just who I am. That's who everybody is. Now let me show you another diagram. This is the second step, and it's regarding reason. So when you consider a new idea, a dream, a fantasy, etc., but you just think about it, but don't get emotionally involved with it, then nothing happens, nothing changes. And so this new idea is represented here, something from the outside, and you're thinking about it. But nothing happens, everything stays the same. So the purpose of this discussion, we're going to call this Y vibrations. Now these Y vibrations are really just your personal uniqueness seeking expression. And when I heard that term, or that sentence before, I thought it was really cool. Our personal uniqueness seeking expression. And I love that. However, they won't get expressed unless we impress them upon our subconscious mind. Thus, our X vibrations, which are these, they continue to control our behavior because we haven't impressed them into the subconscious mind. So now we have another diagram, and this is the third step, and we refer to this as conflict. And this happens when you get emotionally involved with your Y idea. And now when this happens, you create an XY vibration. Now, this vibration is very chaotic. It affects your electrical system or your central nervous system, and it goes awry. It even goes wacky. So worry and doubt are created in your conscious mind, and then fear in your subconscious mind, and anxiety in your physical body. This is when you hit the terror barrier, and I represent that by this wall here. And you will automatically retreat back into your comfort zone. You do this even if your life isn't what you truly desire. And you do this because you become comfortable with your current thoughts, feelings, experiences, results, etc. And finally, freedom is just breaking through the wall right here. So that's the fourth step, is breaking through the wall of the terror barrier. How do we do this? It's through the understanding of how our mind and body interacts, i.e., why I talked about the stick person, and what caused our fears in the first place, i.e., our conditioning, via the you can't do that, be careful, etc. Now, here's the tricky part. However, even after you've crossed the terror barrier, you still have this chaotic XY vibration. And this can be overcome, but you have to repeatedly get emotionally involved with your new Y idea. And over time, your X conditioning will eventually disappear. It is at this point when you've changed your paradigm, you change your conditioning. Now, your Y idea becomes your new bondage. However, when you pursue your next new, let's call it a Z idea, you'll be working from a greater level of understanding and experience. So to further describe this process, let me show you yet another diagram. And this is based on the law of polarity. Now, this law states that everything in the universe is on a continuum and has an opposite. For example, there's an up and a down, a front and a back, a sweet and a sour, etc. So when we apply this to the terror barrier, and hopefully you can see this, the opposites are bondage and freedom, and then the corresponding consequences. Did you know that ignorance is at the root of all your problems? And so ignorance, again, this is the negative, this is the positive. Ignorance is the root of your problems, my problems, everybody's problems. And it leads to doubt and worry in the conscious mind, and then fear in the subconscious, and then anxiety in the body. And now this anxiety is then suppressed, and it results in depression, dis-ease, and disintegration. To change from the negative to the positive, you need to go to the light side of the force, i.e., you need to choose to think positively and become knowledgeable. And you become knowledgeable through discipline and study. So that's represented here. So through gaining knowledge, you gain understanding. So there is work involved. Thinking into the results takes work, so don't be fooled by those who say otherwise. When you choose this path, you'll likely not know where the resources for achieving your goal will come from. And this is where faith comes in. And with faith, you intuitively know that all the resources needed to achieve your goal will be delivered at exactly the right time. So faith is opposite of fear. And so Bob Proctor, in his best-selling book, You Were Born Rich, wrote, "Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe in the incredible, that will permit us to receive what the masses call impossible." I edited this so I can remember it easier to say, faith is the ability to see the invisible, but to expect the incredible, thus receive what the non-faithful call impossible. This faith creates positive vibrations that are then expressed as well-being in your physical body, and well-being is opposite of anxiety. And this accelerates your results. This will result in feelings at ease as compared to dis-ease, and thereby enabling you to create rather than disintegrate. And by the way, creation happens to be one of my ultimate goals in life. Do you now see that for every negative condition that you may be experiencing, that there is a polar opposite? All you need to do is to choose the positive polarity to achieve your dreams and goals. In conclusion, we were designed to create a life that we love. This is why I apply this program to my own life, and I am truly grateful that I get to share it with you and other clients of mine. So I invite you to take action today. If you need more information, let's schedule a face-to-face meeting either online via Skype or in person, or visit one of my websites at goalsettingavatar.com or satbusinessconsulting.com. And of course, if you're raring to go, you can sign up right now and begin the program. Thank you again for joining me today. I'm excited to be working with you soon.